Ah, cool. All right, so we can go ahead and get started with this. So
All
this
right, let's do it.
podcast is all about 725. We're pretty much at the end of 7.2 content. How we've been at the end of 7.2 content for people don't that haven't really cared too much about the whole Broken Shore campaign thingamajigger. But now we got more shit to look forward to with 725 and all the other good stuff. So right now I'm joined today by AJ and Senjien, two of my boys. And we're just gonna chat and talk about 725, what we're looking forward to, what might suck, you know, dab on things on like class changes with whatever we're familiar with and items and gears and well, whatever the heck comes off the top of our heads. So, are you guys excited?
I
Yeah.
am. I'll tell you the number one thing I'm excited for. After because now I just hit Artifact Knowledge 40, and so probably after a week, probably before 725 even drops, or at least before Tomb opens, I'm not gonna give a shit about AP anymore. And that's just amazing.
It's amazing. So you guys saw that I like leveled my druid to 110 just a little bit ago, and you know I started doing stuff with him, and I'm amazed. Like he's already at his weapon rank is already at like in the high 40s or so, and I'm hardly doing shit. I'm just doing like normal stuff, no grinding, no farming. I mean, if anything, I'm just trying to progress through like the Legion Fall campaign and the class campaign and all that stuff, and I'm pretty shocked at how fast they're getting caught up. So like alt friendly,
Yeah,
like yeah, it's not so bad.
yeah. The funny thing to me is that I feel like Artifact Power kind of set the tone and was one of the major focal points of the early game, like leading up with Emerald Nightmare all the way through Nighthold. One of the main things you cared about was artifact power. Everything was artifact power, this artifact power, oh, world quest for artifact power. Oh, this quest leads artifact power. Oh, dungeon bosses do this. Oh, we
Mob
gotta grind
souls every
keystones.
day, every day.
Yeah, we gotta grind keystones so we can get all that artifact power. And then now it's just like, oh, we just don't care anymore. It's just done. And it's kind of funny to me that it's been such a crazy dichotomous switch from it's the most important thing to now it's not really going to matter. I find it interesting from like a game design standpoint to have that kind of a flip mid expansion.
I don't know. I'm kind of glad for it. One, to not have to worry about grinding, and I know that I feel like a piece of this is just how AP grinding that Mythic Raiders felt they had to do to stay, at the cutting edge was kind of like hurting guilds to stay, alive, and they were dying out. And I think it was also kind of a way for Liz to be like, well, let's kind of like ease off a little and make sure we don't lose, the rest of the mythic guilds that we have left. 'Cause I know how people can be about grinding. I mean, you guys seen how many people did Maw of Souls thousands and thousands of times. People will do it if it's necessary to be the best.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was the early focus on how high those initial, or how, not how high, but how they didn't scale the initial, what you want to call it, like Paragon trades. Now we have Concordance. And the fact that the AP required didn't scale that much, but then it was just a flat multiplier bonus for your damage done, that those early version of the Paragon traits were huge. And having 13.5 extra damage versus 5% extra damage, that was a huge difference. That could make or break progression. And so it made sense that people were grinding, because if you want to be one of the top however many people, I mean, obviously, what was it? Method was killing it this expansion, right? I don't pay much attention. It was Method, right?
No, it's
Or was it
Exorcist.
Exorcist? Okay, yeah, Exorcist. Oh shit, that's right. Wow. Yeah, it was like Exorcist, and it was Serenity and Method, and of course, for them trying to compete way up at the top end, like, yeah, getting
Do you
that
mean
extra, huh?
Do you mean Exorcist?
I call him Exorcist.
Whatever they're called. Getting those extra percent traits, that was a huge deal. But then now, Concordance, like, dude, no one cares about an extra 300 or 400, whatever it is. They keep changing it, but
You
it's
know,
just not that big a
somebody
deal,
does.
and I love it.
Somebody
Kata
does.
does. I'm sure Kata does.
Well, actually, no.
I'm
Even
sure.
even Kata was like, hey, you know, I hit 52, 53 or so. Fuck it. You know, he
Well,
decided
he
to
said
to his other
he
specs.
said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna put all my other specs to 52," which I think is just it's the most efficient thing to do.
Right.
In case of buffs or patch note changes, and oh wow, now fire is going to be the top spec. Yeah, you want to have that at 52. I'm doing the same thing for my rogue. I'm making sure I have all 3 specs at least close to 52 before patch drops. But just beyond that, like, dude, it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter, and I'm so happy for that. It feels like
part of me still feels like the whole thing on artifact power, like the whole idea, it's like this myth of design where, okay, I want to make this system like artifact power in this case, where, you know, all players of all levels can enjoy this system, and you can try to grind the fuck out of it, but it's only going to get you so much, but you have the ability to catch up if you don't log on very much. So like it's been this crazy roller coaster of trying to balance and trying to get this thing to work out. But it still kind of eludes me with them trying really, really hard to make artifact power seem like a relevant thing, but they clearly clearly want to make it relevant only up to a certain point, which makes me wonder, why not just have, a weekly cap or something like that? If they do still want to have that sort of control, you know, why not do it? And you don't need to answer. I'm just kind of like sharing my thought on that, and if you want to chime in on it, cool, but I don't really care to discuss it. It just fascinates me that that Blizzard went so far to develop this kind of system, only to kind of put us where we're at now, with making artifact power feel like an almost irrelevant thing. Because just as you said, AJ, you know, with concordance being, you know, cool up front, but then afterwards the gain that you get is pretty minimal compared to the effort that you put into it, if you really, really want to grind that out, and whatever stamina that you happen to get per point, which ain't much either. But yeah,
Yeah, I think a lot of it, it's one of those things, because I like Ion, whatever you call him. I like him, I do, but I feel like
the N is silent.
Okay, EO. I really like EO. I just feel like he got a little too trying to make it the perfect system for everybody, and trying to account for too many things and too many different types of different play styles and everything. And I feel like it ended up just being confusing instead of straightforward. And I feel like the kind of people that aren't on the forums and aren't following the patch notes, I just feel like a lot of those people were like, wait, what's up with this knowledge thing? Wait, why do I get more now? Wait, how come the next point's so expensive? And if you're not keeping super up to date on everything, it can be kind of confusing. But then the people that are hardcore and following everything, they're like, well, wait, how come I'm not getting it right now? Why do I have to grind it now to get it? How come there's not a cap? And so I feel like it's a little bit, for me, I think he was trying to please too many different people, which you just can never do.
I'd have to say I'm on the opposite fence of that. I mean, I understand the way they implemented World Quest's expansion. They're not going to put a cap on it, because one of the things they said when they first created the whole World Quest, and it was in the alpha build and all that, was they wanted to make it feel like the world itself was more of a, MMORPG style type. It's always alive, it's always active, there's always something going on to have to do. And you really didn't feel that way when it was dailies. I mean, you had an area, they gave you a bunch of quests, you did them, and then you logged out, but it kind of didn't feel like a living, breathing world in that sense. I know now, like, a lot of us have done World Quest to the point where it doesn't feel like it is alive and all this stuff is happening and going on at once. But if, in my opinion, it does more so than when it was just like the dailies in a certain spot, like, hey, do this same quest until you bash your face into the ground and everything like that.
Yeah, I
But
definitely agree on the world quest system. I think world quests are the best thing to come out of this expansion overall. I think world quest and whatever iteration of like keystones they end up with, improving on the system, I think those are both awesome because they're long term. It's the kind of system that it's not just a Legion specific system, and it could be for every expansion. It could be, I don't think they'll do this again, but they could even do like a kata revamp of the old world, which you see all the time on the forums, which I think is a giant waste of time. I think it would be great, but I just think that would be way too much of an undertaking. But the fact that you can take these systems that you were saying, and like they said, to make the world feel more alive, where it's not just go to the hub and then do the things. It's, oh, where can I go today and what is going on? I think it's a great system. I just think that the mechanisms of artifact power and artifact knowledge and everything, I feel like it didn't quite work for me. I thought when playing it always seemed like a thing that I was forced to go through rather than something that I was really excited to get a new trait. It wasn't just like, yes, I got my new trait. It was like, oh, finally got my new trait because I finally have enough knowledge to get it. And it's like, why can't I just do this from the start? But I don't know. Like I like it and I don't like it. I think there's pluses and minuses. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I think there's pluses and drawbacks.
The best part is that we're not done yet. We're still just approaching 725. There's still 7.3. And what is expected to be the final raid, the capstone, as they had said, of the Legion PvE experience. And then we move on to the Taylor Swift expansion, or whatever my dream expansion is.
Nah, the purple pimp expansion.
The Purple Pimp expansion. What about Murlocalypse?
Ooh, I'm down. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that would be great. And I if they do Murlocalypse, I hope the entire trailer is just Murlocs talking.
It, it,
And so,
and the music is just like a whole Murloc a cappella sort of
yeah,
thing.
oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Instead of having whoever Velen or Lord Walker Cho be like, we thought they were done, but the Legion is back. It's just
Or they should just have like Lore Walker Cho just be like possessed by a Murloc, and then he does like
oh,
the
that's
Murloc voice in his
even
Lore Walker
better.
voice. That'd be
I
my
Even
think
better.
I think we're going back to Mr. Pandaria, to be honest.
You think we're
Pandaria
going back?
too.
I mean, like what AJ was talking about with, hey, I don't think they're gonna do a revamp of the old world. I think that they can kind of halfway do it, thanks to like this whole scaling system and the world quest system and stuff like that, where they can, I mean, just imagine if there was an expansion where there was no new world, there was no new environment at all, but instead they focused entirely on writing like all sorts of different narratives, different things to do, like all over the place, in like damn near every zone. And there's like what 40 some odd zones just in the Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor alone. There won't be anything new to do in like Outland or Old Draenor or whatever. But
What's that?
it would just be like, all resources would just be put into like creating more experiences and quests and stuff to do and activities and all that stuff. And I don't know. That's kind of like me totally talking out of my ass about it, but I think
I
I would be
would
interested in something like that.
Yeah, I would love to see them implement level scaling on the lower stuff because I think the technology exists and that wouldn't be. I just from my absolute ignorance of the actual coding process of how everything goes, it seems to me that implementing level scaling in the old zones up to a certain threshold wouldn't be as intensive as creating world quests in all the old zones, at least to a point where there's enough variety that you can do an emissary in a zone and have everything happen, assuming they even keep the emissary thing. That's besides that point. I would love to see that because, and I know this gets thrown around, on the forums collectively all the time, but it is one problem with like the leveling experience now where there's no point to questing because you gray out the zones and you have to head off somewhere else, and then you gray off the quests and then you head somewhere else, and there's no narrative, there's no anything, and they spend all this time redesigning the leveling experience for Cataclysm, and then if you want to actually play through any of the story, you have to get almost no experience for everything. And so I just think it's kind of, I
To
think
be
it's
honest,
personally.
I think a lot of what they're doing in this expansion is kind of a test bed for what they are probably going to end up doing with the actual whole world of Azeroth. Because I mean, if you take a look at all the concepts they've come up with for this expansion and how they could work in the rest of the world of Azeroth, it makes sense. Like this is something they're kind of leading towards.
And not
Also,
to mention too, time walking raids incoming, feeding into what you're saying.
yeah, and I mean, one of the big things with that whole that you were talking about, making the whole world kind of scale. So you want to do that, but you want to also have it make sense. You got to also think of it in the lore perspective. Like, why would it be that the mobs that were in Westfall are suddenly smacking down somebody who is completely been through all this other raids and dungeons and world quests and all these? He's super geared. Why would he come back and fear like a knoll
Well,
out there? You know,
I think that
That's
comes
what I
to,
was saying
I
though.
think that
Real quick.
go ahead,
So
go ahead, go
that's
ahead.
what I was saying, to up to a point. So like old world
Well,
stuff would scale to 60.
didn't let me
Is all I'm
finish.
saying. Okay.
Didn't let-
I
So
thought you were done.
no. So the way I could see it is, I don't know if either of you have ever played Destiny. So these things exist in Destiny where you do go to these places where you leveled and stuff that all these mobs are at lower level, but events occur, just like invasions and stuff like that, where while you're out there, all of a sudden, like a thing will pop up on the map. It'd be like an event's occurring so many meters away or somewhere over here, and basically it's a group an area where people can group up and do this harder content. Like all these harder level mobs come up, and it's just an all-out war, and it's your job to maintain this area for a certain amount of time, and depending on how quickly you complete the actual event, it basically increases the quality of gear that you get.
Okay, yeah. So I haven't
Sense.
played Destiny, but that similar sort of system is in Final Fantasy 14, which I played around with a little bit. And so yeah, I think that could work. I think that would be cool. Similar
You know,
to
just
Invasion, it wouldn't need to be zone wide though, because like the Invasions just said the entire zone ceases to exist right now, and the entire zone is instance. It could just be, you know, portions of the zone, and we've seen with sharding technology and instancing
yeah.
technology, they have the tools to do that, and so I think that would be cool too.
So yeah,
So
that's
the
just
thing
something I think they can do.
so the thing I wanted to
Go
tie
ahead.
in is narrative. You know, with the idea that I tossed around with not introducing the new world, just kind of revamping the old world, not even with any of the aesthetics, but like just using phasing technology and level scaling and whatever to kind of create new narratives. So like what Senjin was saying was like, well, why should I go back into this old place where I've done so much stuff and I'm going back and I'm killing kobolds and gnolls again. It it, it it's a way to help the world of Warcraft feel like that it too has progressed along with our characters, along with us as players. So like like stupid idea, but like the son of Hogger or whatnot, he's been plotting his revenge all this time, and he comes back in a not very big way. He just comes in, and now he's a world quest that takes place somewhere in what was it, in Elwyn Forest or wherever the hell Hogger first came from.
I disagree with you, Saul. I think he comes back in a big way, and it's Son of Hogger expansion.
Okay, sorry.
No.
But it would be something, like that, and at the same time, like, let's expand on the idea even further, where all mobs, they will scale up to a certain point where, like, we'll scale up to 120 or so, but everything else down there is scaled down to like 100, so they're still very trivial, but it's not like we stare at them and they die either. There's still going to be trivial stuff, but it just feels like there's been some progression in the world while we've been gallivanting around in other planets and other dimensions and other continents and what have you. It's just a way to make it feel like the world had leveled with us, and that it
Yeah, I feel
wasn't just a stagnant
it's
thing.
similar to like how we don't have one in Legion, but you know how the troll raid, right? And Zolomon came out in BC, and I think right, Zolomon was a raid in BC, or was it vanilla? Whenever it was, Zolomon came out. You went in, you did your thing, and then what happened in Cataclysm? They're like, hey. Wait, sorry. They were like, hey, man, we trolls, we be leveling up too, man. Yeah. Got that righteous voodoo. And now, boom, they're max level too. And so it's kind of similar to that, where, you know, the trolls come back, but instead of just an instant zone that's happening, it could be happening within the zones too. You know, it's already like the framework for it has already kind of existed in the WoW universe.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the concepts are present in Legion. Like we go to the old world, there are things that that are scaling up to our level, as well as um as far as I recall, early artifact, you know, quests and stuff, those do scale with our item level.
Oh
For
God, do
people that
they?
have, for people that had super low item level, like my druid, like he was at item level 400 or something, and he was still able to complete the artifact quest line because it scaled down to something
Yeah.
that was more appropriate, so he can at least finish it. So, you know, and these kinds of artifact quests, they take you to older parts of the world, so the technology is there. They just put it in pockets. Now it's just up to Blizzard to decide, oh, you know what, fuck it, let's just do the whole goddamn planet, and make the whole damn planet feel relevant, because you know there are people I'm sure are tired of going around the same damn broken isles before. And some of it, and an element of these players, they feel a bit of nostalgia when they go back to these old areas. Like some of the micro holidays bring people back to these older areas, and it makes them like, oh, I remember this spot, you know, blah blah blah, nostalgia. So making the whole world feel like it is, you know, a thing again in future content, um, I think it'd be cool. But of course, it can be obviously overwhelming, because that's a lot of landmass to potentially cover from both a player and a developer standpoint. Like how much shit can you spread around before people feel pretty exhausted with all the running around. But I don't know. Like personally, I don't have a problem with that, because I don't mind the traveling aspect of an MMO. I think that's a lost thing, with this generation of players that wants to like instantly teleport elsewhere, or they want to really zip around and fly to their destination very very quickly. People don't care about the journey anymore, and that's okay. That's, you know, that's an opinion that's not shared by everyone. But so that's why I think that implementing the entire world could be a little bit daunting for everybody.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I agree.
So anyway, 725 is coming out, and we were supposed to talk about that, and then we wasted like 20 minutes just talking
not wasted.
No, we didn't waste that time at all. No, that's cool. So anyway, 725 is
other things.
Yeah,
Right.
let's move on to other things that we're excited or we are dreading in 725.
I am excited. We got a new raid coming out, although it's technically 7.2 content. I am excited.
Two Masargeras for real this time.
Trial of Style.
That's what you're.
That's the new raid, right? Soul Trial of Style.
Yeah, as far as I know, Trial of Style.
Yeah,
TOS.
Trial of Style, the new raid.
Is that what we're talking about? Trial of Style?
No.
TOS? Oh no. Oh, you're talking about the raid that came out with the patch that just didn't open up yet until
That 7.2 point.
Oh, whatever. I am excited for the raid. I didn't, as usual, I hardly looked at Jack. You guys know me. I don't look at any. I don't really look at any raid previews or
all I did,
fight previews or whatever.
The only thing I did is, I think it was on Wowhead. It was on something, but they just had like an environment tour where it takes you through just the different areas. And I didn't look towards the I didn't watch towards the end, because I always like to be like impressed by the environments towards the end, as it gets down to crunch time. But I looked through it and it's cool. You know, the start of it's very cathedral, but a little darker. I like cathedral. I think cathedral is a really nice environment. Yeah, I'm excited for all that stuff. I'm excited to play my rogue again. Finally be good again.
That's right. There are a number of us that had changed. Well, two of you, but both of you guys have decided to change from Senjien's changed from Shadow Priest to Demon Hunter. You changed from Shadow Priest to your rogue.
Kind of assorted,
which
priest,
it's actually pretty good because I from what I've been doing my research on, Shadow Priests are kind of taking the shitter in the patch.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, yeah, I mean, whatever you guys decide, you know how I roll on that. You guys want to do it, you do it, and then we figure it out later. Kind of sucks too. It does suck losing 2 ranged. I ain't gonna lie about that.
But didn't we get another one?
Did we?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know, dude.
Whatever. No, well, whatever it was, it's not gonna be a problem because rogues are awesome.
It's the
edgelords.
We don't really know how the are gonna be for 2 Most Garrus and whether or not it's gonna be as reliant on having a certain amount of range, certain amount of melee, do like the mechanics.
I mean, we always want to have a relatively balanced comp. I mean, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. All right, there's the 2 of you. There's me. There's me and the Pally. Shadow said he was gonna do his warrior now. I think.
No, he was saying he's playing his warrior in Nighthold until Tomb comes out.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
yeah, he's still playing his druid.
Okay, so we got the druid and the Pally, so that's solid. We have our legion of healers, whoever that is, and then at range. Oh hell, who do we have at range? What's his back, and he's bringing his Ellie shaman.
Yeah, we got Whatza, we got Liv, we got Kata, we got
Sure Shot.
Zero when he's not concentrating in camp. Sure Shot.
Concentrate. I was about to say consecration camp. God, man.
You have there's Sure Shot. Well, Bucket kind of goes heals and he boom.
We have pretty much everyone's a hybrid. The exception would probably be Mondo. That'd be the closest.
Yeah, he doesn't.
The non-hybrid that we got.
Yeah.
Everyone else switches as needed, which is, that feels nice. I gotta say, I gotta brag on this PoWCast. It is nice having most of our healers and whatnot be able to be switched to, that they can switch to DPS and go back and forth and not complain about it. It feels good.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's the funny thing, because that's why I went priest, was because
not complain about it out loud.
I know how much we needed that for so long, and I was like, well, I guess I'll go priest. And then we're just like, hey, no, now everyone can do it. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, now we're like swimming room. But yeah, you're right, Senjien. I don't know who's actually griping about it, but I tell folks, go ahead and be up front. If you want to switch, and we'll figure it out. And people aren't. If people are grumbling, then that's entirely their fault. If they want to if they want to deal with that.
I think the only time I've ever heard any complaint is like Nelia right after she flasks, and she's like, I just flasked.
Damn, all these pots that I'm using that I don't pay for.
Pots. My nipple hurts and my babies are crazy.
She doesn't complain that much.
I know, I'm exaggerating.
No. But whenever she opens her mouth, that's all. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Oh, dude, she's gonna.
I'm gonna make sure
if she watches this, she's gonna.
She doesn't watch the PoWCast, man.
You don't watch it, you listen.
That's true. You listen. Although this time around, I do actually have, at this time of recording, I have Soladin just kind of chilling on High Mountain. You can see the sun setting in the background.
Ooh, how romantic.
Oh yeah.
Hey, speaking.
All right. Hey, guys, we got to get back on top.
Okay, sorry.
I gotta eventually go to sleep.
Hey, I got you for another hour. So
I know. But the way we're going, we're gonna hit more than that.
Clothes are gonna hit the floor at this rate, dude. Shit.
Well, okay.
So what else? Oh, hey, to get us on track, the fucking Chromie thing looks dope as shit.
Oh,
yeah.
Everything I've heard looks pretty cool.
So yesterday, I don't know. Did you guys watch the Q&A yesterday?
Yeah, I did.
Tiny bit.
Okay, so it pissed me off because it looked they made the Chromie scenario look pretty boring. But admittedly, it's because they didn't have to do like any of the spoiler stuff. They wanted to, like, avoid all that. So that I understand, but it's
Mm.
it's a lot more fun than it than even that looked.
Yeah, I heard you talk about it, and then I watched a little bit of one of Belluar's videos, and he was like, "Dude, this is actually super awesome." And I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
he did
dude,
that. Like,
cool."
I straight up did a walkthrough. Like, I was like, all right, here's what you do. Here's how to win it. And I just but that's full of spoilers. Like, I tell you, like, hey,
Yeah,
this
which
is
is
what
why I
this
didn't
item.
watch it.
Yeah, so that's totally fine. But yeah, there's it's just like with their training. There's kind of a formula to it. You progress through it. Eventually you'll trivialize most of it, but there's still kind of, there's still this modicum of skill that they have to overcome until, I think, like the very very end. Once you like fully progress through like everything, it's like Dynasty Warriors and shit. You're just like plowing through
Nice.
dudes and just wrecking stuff, and Chromie's with you. She's fighting alongside you.
Pop in your Musu.
Yeah, and yeah, you like do like a double muso, and like well, it's basically like that.
Blue Dragon.
And the really cool thing, and I feel bad I didn't get to really test it out, um is that Chromie's versatile. You can change her talent thing to either make her a healer or a tank. I think there's a cooldown on it though. You have to like wait a day or so for it to kick in. I don't know. I don't remember too well, but um you can make her either healer or a tank. Of course, I made her a healer, and she also does like spell casty stuff too. But as a tank, you pretty much need to be a healer if you want to spec Chromie as a tank. If you're any other spec, just spec her as a healer or caster, and she'll be able to help you out. But as a tank, at least according to like the stats, she has like super jacked up stats. She'll like wreck face, and she'll like pretty much destroy stuff for you. You just need to keep her up, because she'll literally continually lose life. Like, she's constantly dying, as if she's like burning out her soul or something like that. And you just need to like constantly heal her. And if you do, just do that and tag mobs, and she'll like go super withered, on whatever's an active target. But overall, like when you first do it, it's like, oh, that's cool. But then as you do the repetitive stuff, it'll start to like wear, of course, like anything, it'll start to wear out its luster. But um when I was testing it out, I found myself like, I was on it for like 4 or 5 hours. I was like, oh shit, I keep I I need to stop. I need to stop testing this shit.
Yeah, no.
I'm
I
super.
saw a playthrough of it, and it definitely more interesting things that they're adding in 7.25, and I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to it. It's gonna be. I think it's a way big step up from Wither training.
It is, in my opinion. The fact that it's repeatable, the fact that it is a forced 15-minute venture, and that there's no cooldown in between. The only cooldown really is with the talents. And I think during the Q&A, I think Paul Keebit or whoever, they were saying that if you're really good, you can possibly complete it within within the span of the first day. I don't know. It it's it would be tough. I guess I could see it, but there's just so much damage that you need to put out, um, that I don't know. I'm skeptical to see if that's really possible. You'd have to put out some serious DPS
What didn't
to
they
do
say?
it.
It skills you though.
You're scaled up to item level 1000. So you're like super juiced. But because of that, it's like, okay, can you really do it? I I think it's like based. I think it would be based on luck, because there are certain things that are based on luck throughout the scenario. Um, but a lot of the power progression is based on the talents that you learn, because for each of those, I don't know, there's like 5 or 6 tiers, maybe more, of the talents. For each talent that you get, you also get a modifier. It would be like, okay, you learn this talent, and regardless of what talent it is that you choose, you and Chromie will deal 5% more damage, or you will move 10% faster on your mount speed and stuff like that. So it's just ways to help complete the scenario faster. There are multiple ways to complete the scenario faster. It's just a matter of, can you complete all the objectives the way that you want to. I'm like trying not to spoil it too much, but it's cool. I'm pretty sure like next week I plan on doing an actual stream, an actual like 5-hour thing of me doing stuff for the patch up to the raid, and then I'll raid. I have a feeling that most of my time is going to be spent doing the damn Chromie scenario because I like it a lot.
Nice. Yes. What else coming out? We got
Well, you guys are, you guys played several classes. Like,
Yeah.
what's like the
I got
shitter
one.
that's coming for like your classes or specs?
Okay. Shitter bad?
Either or. Something that
Okay,
just kind of
so-
crosses your mind.
I am so insanely happy that agonizing poison is gone because I think that's the dumbest thing they ever did for assassination rogues.
Tell
It's
me
gone,
about it
and I'm really
because
happy
I am
about it.
ignorant about it.
All right, so rogues have always had deadly poison, and you know back from Dragon Soul how many times I forgot to put that back on.
Yeah, you suck.
Yeah. And so like you put on your poisons, and it's you got your deadly poison which like damages them over time, and then every time you put another application they take like a instant tick of damage. That was a really like main focal point of assassination rogues for a long time now. And so they put in a talent that said, hey, instead of that, we're just going to give you a poison that makes all your abilities do more damage, and so your envenom uptime no longer matters, and the amount of attacks that you're getting in during envenom doesn't matter anymore. None of that matters. We're going to give you a talent that makes it more like less, what's the word I'm thinking of?
More better.
Less cerebral to play, and has way better output, and is the only actually good talent on the tier.
Oh, that's
and I hated
dull.
it. Yeah, and so that's how it's been since Legion launched, and they're finally getting rid of it because I remember one of the things where it's like, yeah, we kind of realize it just doesn't make any sense and we don't really know why we did it, and yeah, it's gone. So I'm excited for that.
So what do you need to do instead?
Just play
like actually do the work, pretty much.
Yeah, there's a new talent that's taking its place called Toxic Blades, which, as far as performance goes, I don't know, because I'm not the kind of person that's going to play a whole bunch on the PTR because it's all subject to change. But I like the idea of it. So now instead of having just a passive thing you put on your weapons that you stab, and then boom, all your abilities now do more damage forever while you're on the target. Now it's a thing where you stab them with a knife and then they take extra poison damage for like 9 seconds. And so you can kind of like set up some combos with it where you use the Toxic Blade and then boom, venom, hit them with the King's Bane thing and smack them up. And like there's some sort of like thought process that goes into it, which I like.
How are Demon Hunters looking?
Demon Hunters, I mean, honestly, we're looking about the same, other than a few changes. Like one's to Demon Blades being now 100% chance to
They
proc.
actually just changed it today.
No, I'm looking at the changes now. It's still 100%.
The one that just got posted like 7 minutes ago.
What is it now then? If it's
60.
not 100%, there's no way they're not gonna.
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh
and
yeah,
it says
it's not
your auto
100,
attacks
right?
have a 60% chance.
Yeah, it's not 100.
So so they just put it right back to the way it was.
But it's a level 100 talent now.
It's always been a level.
Oh right, because you guys started early. Yeah, okay. I was thinking 100 talent was the last tier, but for Demon Hunters, yeah, it's the second tier.
Yeah, for
okay,
Demon Hunters it's different. But so they reverted it back, really? Because I was just looking up the most recent one, and I guess they had to have just put it up.
Yeah, that's what I saw because
minutes ago.
they just did a build like yesterday, right? I think that's the content.
Yeah,
of the build.
yesterday was release candidate.
Yeah. Well, they released. They did a release candidate, but they did another build.
Yeah, and then this one it said this build went live today,
Yeah.
and it's all
Huh.
rogue items tier bonus nerfs, and then demon blade nerf, and earthshock buff. So hooray! What's a hunter?
Where's the
Just open a like MMO champion. So the first thing.
you said MMO champion?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, what they were gonna do was they were planning on balancing it out.
Were
60 shadow damage.
bunch of dicks, man.
They just ruined you, man. Dang.
So that's odd that just happened again. Well, I mean, then
Maybe it's the
nothing.
data mining here.
Nothing's really changed then, other than Fell Barrage is going, instead of having charges, it's going to be a minute cooldown thing. So it's going to be like a mini cooldown you can pop for AoE damage.
Oh yeah, that's right. Didn't they have some kind of like cooldown reduction thing on it or something?
It had a chance to proc and automatically reset it to 5 charges. So it's the Fell Barrage. They haven't really been able to make up their mind with Fell Barrage, but I think they're having it set now on this cooldown thing, because before it was proccing too much. When it was 5 charges, it had a chance to increase your charge, like basically refresh the charge to you, but you only used it when you had 5. That's not what they wanted intention to be originally. They wanted you to be able to use it sporadically, but then they reduced the amount of refresh time that you could get, or the procs that you could get to refresh it, and now they're just completely taking away the whole proc thing. It's a flat cooldown.
Got it.
Other than that, I mean, Vengeance Demon Hunters are kind of still left in the dark. I mean, they nerfed
Got some damage buffs.
yeah, but honestly, I could care less about damage buffs. Like, that's not where, like, yeah, Demon Hunters can put out the damage when it comes to like tanking, things like that, but they nerfed Last Resort now. You get a kill, if it's a killing blow, can no longer exceed 200% of your health. So if the killing blow exceeds more than 200% of the health, your maximum health, then it'll still kill you.
And that's something that's going to apply
Sorry,
for like that's something going to apply for like all the tanks, and or at least for prop paladins and their ardent defender. Like, we're not going to be able to like totally cheese one shot mechanics and all that.
Yeah, I did notice that. I was looking at it's kind of across the board with the tanks on the whole nerf abilities, like Demon Spikes, Shield of the Righteous, Iron Skin Brew, Shield Block. They can only extend to a maximum of 3 times their base duration as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember they were doing that from because like the shuffle. No, not shuffle, but just the Iron Skin Brew, the stagger thing. Because they were talking
like that. You can have really high uptime. Like with my old what's that talent called?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But they also they did also make it.
That's the thing. Yeah, because I could have like I could easily have like a minute or so of 50%, or whatever my active mitigation is. Like, you just have 50% just kind of rolling, and that's from all sources. So I'm just like do whatever.
One change they actually did make that I forgot to mention for Havoc is Prepared. They've kind of smoothed out the Fury generation that happens when you use Vengeful Retreat. So whenever you use Vengeful Retreat, it generates 40 Fury over 5 seconds. So that's what it was. Now it generates 100 Fury over 10 seconds. So instead of 40 over 5, it's spread out to 10 seconds, but it's 100 Fury. So it kind of gives it a smoother. It doesn't have the clunkiness that it used to have. And that's why it was kind of supposed to be another option to choose between Demon Blades. You can go Prepared for this smooth Fury generation. It kind of give you another option. Now with the re-nerf to Demon Blades to 60%, kind of looking like they're trying to lean more towards prepared to kind of, if you want like smooth Fury generation. Because I mean, the way that we're going about it, they were going to give you 100% uptime on your Demon Blades, but they were decreasing the amount of Fury that you gained from proccing your Demon.
Have you guys looked at your guys' trinkets for Tomb?
I played around with them PTR a little bit. I'm really curious about the agility crit one that increases the damage or crit chance or whatever. I'm gonna look it up real quick. But there's one where every person in the raid that has it increases its performance. I'm really curious how it's going to be if everybody stacks that if you have enough agility people.
Yeah, I saw that there were a number of trinkets like that, or it might be just that one particular trinket where it's like that. It's basically like the Warlord's ring, where if you got like more people that are
before they changed it.
Yeah, but like I mean, if you have more people with it that are present, cool, you know, then it ups the power. So it makes me a little curious, like what's going to happen there with. You know, as we start going on, as we start putting Tomb on farm and we're getting like multiple things of this trinket, are we going to come to the point where maybe not at our level, but maybe like for fun, be like, okay, everyone put on your trinket thing and then we'll just like destroy shit. You know, how effective is that going to be? I'm sure at the mythic level they're going to make it like mandatory. It's like, okay, you guys better farm the fuck out of like, you know, we better do multiple split runs and farm LFR, you know, whatever it fucking takes to get those trinkets so we can like get that multiplier out, so we can get, you know, world first, whatever the hell. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see like how this trinket plays out, since it's kind of a legendary effect from the days of old, but you know, they're just putting it on a normal-ish piece of gear.
They might have changed it, because I think it was Infernal Cinders, and I think it's not the same now.
No, it's Infernal Cinders. Yeah, your melee attacks have a chance to deal an additional X amount of fire damage. The critical strike chance of the damage is increased by 10% for each ally within 10 yards who bears this item.
I'm looking on Wowhead right now, and I don't know which one's more up to date, but the one I'm looking at right now says your melee attacks have a chance to apply melted armor, increasing damage taken from Infernal Cinders by 30%, but other players benefit from melted armor. And so it might not be the crit chance anymore. It might be that other people's melted armor causes your stuff to do. I don't know.
So you think they just took that effect out entirely?
If the WoW has the up-to-date one, I don't know which one's the up-to-date one.
You always look on the PTR. That's up to date. Should be
okay. Well, the PTR's up to date. I don't know if mine is up to date.
Whatever. It's all good.
I'm gonna check it out if it's loaded, which I think it should be.
I mean,
it is loaded. Nice. I'm gonna load
it. I wouldn't doubt it, because I know that's kind of been something that they've struggled with, is they don't want to make trinkets so overpowered that certain ones are gonna be just complete shit, while others are gonna be like sought after, just so that way you could cheese fights.
Yeah, and especially with the not just that, but the fact that because like the whole ring thing was, you know, this is increased for every raid member with this. It was like, okay, so we're actually going to get more damage if we have all agility people than if we have some agility, some strength, some int. And like that was the kind of thing that I think they really wanted to get away from, and that's kind of what this led to. But it's only melee. It's only melee, and so it's not stat based, it's melee based. And so to me it seems like it would be an okay thing to do, because you can't completely stack melee, or else you got
watch us.
You got freaking Death Knights running out to deal with mechanics and wiping the raid because they can't get there in time because they're slow ass motherfuckers.
Underestimate my.
Have you done anything with Death Knight speed? I know neither of us really play him, but
I play Death Knight a little bit. I got mine max level.
Have they done anything about like their speed, or just like, you know?
No,
that is what Wraith Walk, right?
So
they have Wraith Walk, which is the ability to get stuck on stairs.
Yeah,
that's what it really is.
Honestly, like Death Knights, this expansion have been like given the best storyline and lore. Like their class campaign is the best campaign out of any class in the game, hands down. Like even the mount one is so cool. Like if you go to get their mount, it's probably the best like storyline to get your mount. Having to go, they completely create a new area for you to go to Northrend to like basically summon this. Well, spoilers, I guess. Basically, it's the best. If you're interested, go check it out.
It's
I don't want to give it away for anyone who might be listening. That
I'll get that over the next couple of years.
Yeah, in due time, I will do that. It's a long road ahead for my Death Knight. I think he's like 103 or so.
The class campaign is pretty dope. I completed that, but I haven't got the mount yet.
That'll probably be the next one I do after my priest. So I got the Demon Hunter and the Rogue one already. I'm done with the priest. And
I have to get the Rogue one still. I haven't been able to play much.
Stop working so much.
Yeah, dude, it's weird.
But yeah, it's fun. It'll be interesting to see what they end up, how the trinkets end up being, because that they can always nerf them after they're in the game.
Of course.
I want them to be relevant, but I don't want them to be something that have to have, or else you're starting to like really see the effectiveness. Because then you got to worry about them balancing content around those trinkets.
But that's gear. That's how it's always been. Like the things that people are concerned about. Okay, what's the best trinket? What's the best set bonus? Or in this case now it's like the set bonus combo. What's the best legendary that I should use? So, I mean that stuff is always going to exist until for whatever reason Blizzard's like, okay, let's normalize everything, and so gear doesn't even matter anymore, and watch the exodus happen. But it's always going to matter to a certain extent. At least at our level, it's not the end of the world. Real quick. What's up?
If I log on the PTR, any items I've purchased are updated automatically. I don't think PTR much. Okay, then it is the critical strike chance.
All right, so read off again. What is it?
So your melee attacks have a chance to deal an additional however much fire damage, and the critical strike chance of this is increased by 10% for every ally within 10 yards who also wears the item. So if you have 5 melee, you get a 50% increase, or I guess 40% increase to its crit chance.
Is it additive or multiplicative?
I don't know.
It'd be interesting to see, because it's like, damn.
But it's just like the bonus damage on the trinket,
Right. That's true.
And so
it's only so much.
Yeah, like you definitely get a benefit from having other people wear it, but it's not like, oh my god, other people are wearing it, so we get everything we ever wanted, and it's amazing, and we top meters all day.
0 healers, let's do this shit.
I'm actually gonna beat up a PTR dummy just to see how much damage it does.
It looks like they've nerfed all 3 of the rogues tier piece set.
Yep.
I haven't even checked. Like, one thing I do want to ask, and I don't know if anybody bothered to look from us, is did they fix this like secondary stats or the tertiary stats on tier set gear? Because God, I was so sick of verse on every freaking piece of gear, for my priest.
I think they're kind of doing that and leaving it on there, so that kind of to balance the whole thing with like the old 2-piece, new 4-piece, and 2 non-tier spot legendaries, where it's like, do you really want to have all that haste on there? I don't know.
The only thing that I saw, well, it wasn't even really for sets. I know that there were some legendary rings, some of the legendary rings had like really, really low secondary stats on them. Like the paladin one, it only had like, I think like 100 or 200 of every stat of every secondary.
Yeah, I know.
I
saw that one too. That was weird.
Yeah, and I know that was fixed. That was just like, oh, whoops, our bad, sort of thing on it. But yeah, I haven't seen anything about like the stats on tier. And to be honest, like the I'm not very concerned about secondary stats on tier gear, because for the most part, as long as the bonus itself is relevant enough, then I'd be like, oh fuck it, well, fuck whatever secondaries around there. But of course, this is me speaking as a tank, where secondaries, they mean something, but it's not the end of the world if we're missing out, if we're missing out just a little bit. Like the whole min max, like I'm still firmly on the mindset that min maxing on a paladin is for like the very very tip top of the skill spectrum, and that it's just and that otherwise it's just not necessary. Just stay alive, focus on the mechanics, and everything else will just kind of fall into place, and have good item level. That's about it. That's me, at least.
Yeah, I think theory crafting and all that kind of stuff.
Well, you're wrong.
Is very different than for other spells.
No, you're wrong. You're the puppet.
You can't kill a boss without DPS. Insane.
I've killed the boss without DPS.
Killed it damn self. No DPS needed. Just big ball of tanks.
I don't remember ever happening.
You must have fallen asleep.
Probably. What am I? What's a hunter?
Oh shit!
Just passing out in the middle of a final boss.
Hell yeah, man.
So
that's what I was gonna look about.
I hear
preliminary PTR testing says that, and this is just my own personal testing, beating up a dummy for, I don't know, 2 minutes. It's gonna be really awesome to stack that thing because it's doing 9% of my damage.
Did you say 90?
9.
Oh, okay. I'm like 90. Holy shit.
I was like, just use the trinket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Take off all gear, put on trinket, top meters.
Yeah, I mean, doing 90%, that's, or 9%. That's pretty nice. That's definitely like not negligible. Yeah.
So I hear
so
that Kilimanjaro is
Kilimanjaro
boss. Yeah, Kilimanjaro Jaden is gonna be a pretty good boss here.
Yeah.
Kilimanjaro
Pretty excited
Smith.
about that.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to stuff.
The only thing that I saw on the boss is like that audio thing, that audio snippet that was on MMO
Yeah, I saw him
which was a lot of nothing.
But I don't know what that means.
Tell you to break yourself upon his body.
Oh God.
To feel the weight of the earth.
Feel the strength of the earth mother.
Feel the strength.
Rise Mountain.
Right.
What boss is that?
It's from
Rise Mountain is
the instance in Deep Home.
Stonecorn.
Oh, okay,
yeah, Stonecorn, where you had to put the dot to reflect onto yourself. No one ever knew, and then you'd always have a fucking dumbass healer dispelling it off you, and then going, "Dude, what the fuck, man?" It's like, stop dispelling me, motherfucker! God damn it! Well, it's because you don't do heroics. So
I always mess the spell.
That's true. I didn't do heroics at all back then.
No, you didn't need to, because you valor cap from killing bosses.
I don't want no scrubs.
When that was a thing.
No. Well, that's true. You did valor cap mostly from them, and then if you only did heroics in LFR, you only got not LFR, but if you only did heroics, yeah, they didn't have it at the time. If you only did heroics, it'll only get you so far. Yeah, you get like a maximum number of points, as I recall.
I don't think so.
I thought there was like a maximum amount of points that you could get just doing heroics and what have you.
I think that was Moth that happened. I think because I remember it was summer break for me in undergrad, and I didn't have the summer job, and all my internships got denied, and all my everything got denied, and I was like, well, guess I'm gonna play WoW the entire summer break.
Oh, I think I remember that.
No, this was before I joined.
Oh,
This
was
was
it? Oh,
well,
you
this
know,
was when I joined.
oh no, no, I
Yeah.
remember there was something else where it's like you had like school problems or something like that.
Yeah.
Something
I
about
think
your
that,
housing, I think.
probably. I mean, that
Whatever, he's selling your
sounds like
body,
me.
you know,
But
street hoe,
the
whatever.
point is, I remember I had like I think 6 max level tunes, and I was valor capping on all of them, just spamming heroics. Back when it was hard to spam heroics during Cataclysm, because you had to CC, and that was too much for people. I got kicked from so many groups because I was a terrible tank.
I didn't see you. Fuck that.
The first time I did, was it Zolamon? I got kicked. And then the second time I did it, I got kicked.
Oh,
I guess I'm not good. And I still suck.
well, you know what's really gonna suck is that in 25 minutes, I'm gonna be joining this heroic Nighthold thing on my druid.
Oh god. Yeah, guys, I got really sick all of a sudden. I don't think I can make it.
No, man, you're good.
Oh, check it.
Don't
I'm just hold on. I'm just reading on Wowhead. The WoW Twitter confirmed that 725 will release next week.
Nice.
So who is looking forward to whenever the hell Black Temple Time Walking comes out?
I am. I think it'll be fun because I know we're gonna do it together.
Yes, I will not pug this shit. I mean, like I said in the video, I'm gonna bring a bunch of you guys. I'm gonna fill the rest of the raid with like faceless tools, or you know bodies or whatever. Because I mean, I do like the fact that they went ahead to preserve as much of the mechanics as possible, or I think they preserved all of it. It's just that they made the mechanics probably pretty trivial.
They said
to
face
handle.
little ripes the raid. Not that I know what that means.
Yeah, me neither. So that's going to be a cool thing because I did not do Black Temple. I didn't do anything past Kara. Yeah, back in those ancient days. So it'll be nice. It'll be cool for longtime players that just didn't happen to do that because they exist. It's not like all vanilla players or all classic players did absolutely everything, and that's why we're as jaded as we are now. No, we didn't have to.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing something that said something about like only 2%, like under 2% of players were even in Sunwell, stuff like that.
It was very, very, very small, but it was still high profile. People were still paying attention to it because they couldn't go. And I think that's the difference between then and now. It's like people are like, because they can access it. It felt more prestigious. There was a mystique around it, and now it's not, because people can at least do like, less difficult versions of it, so they can get their jollies in. But you still have pretty much the same. You still have similar ratios of people that are completing like the content on mythic difficulty. So, well, I'm not gonna pretend I know the numbers, but it just kind of has that feel still.
That and I'm more interested in it because of the glaives appearance. I'm still trying to get those damn glaives to drop off of Illidan so I could get the artifact skin appearance.
Can't do it with a prop paladin, so fuck it. I don't give a shit. Unless you can, they'll be like, oh, yeah, all right, I'm gonna do it, but I ain't.
I know Death Knights, Warriors, I think even Warlocks were able to get it. I don't know. I know.
Hunters could.
I know it
back then.
I know at least like Rogues, Death Knight, Warriors, Demon Hunters can get them. But I've only gotten the main handed drop. I have yet to get the offhanded drop for me.
Yeah, I think my tank has one somehow.
It dropped for my mage.
Hey.
Yeah. God damn it.
I mean, it'll drop, but it only counts if you can equip it.
I know, that's what sucks.
Yeah, so I'm like screwed.
God, I'm a mage.
We'll see if I can get it by the time.
So what else? What do you guys think about the heirloom stuff too? I don't give a shit.
Me
I'm
neither.
not
I
gonna spend the
mean,
money. It's too easy to level with invasions. Like it's already insanely easy and mindless to level. Like I do not give a shit about extra experience.
I don't want to
yeah.
hear anything from you scrubs, so shut up about leveling.
Well, I mean, you knew this was going to happen.
Oh,
At least
I
with regards to
knew.
heirloom, you knew that was going to happen. I didn't predict that. Of course, I didn't predict that there were going to be assault objectives and all that stuff. But I also didn't predict that they were going to go on like for what's probably the rest of the expansion. And on top of that, they give a shitload of experience. I thought it was just going to be like a max level thing. So I think overall the delivery of assault objectives, is cool. It's not perfect by any means, but but I do think it's
I enjoy it.
yeah, I do think it's pretty cool as a bonus thing. It's like, oh, this is something that, because it disrupts my day in kind of a good way. For
Yeah.
some people it's terrible because it's like, okay, I'm trying
And
to
I like that they're
finish
not
this
always
thing.
up.
Yeah, and I like that it's not like a constant thing, because if it was always up, then it would kind of warp the mindset of the player to be like, okay, it's always up, so it means I have to do this in order to max out levels or get nether shards or whatever the fuck. And the fact that it's not, okay, that's cool. I personally, I think that Blizzard was being kind of pussy when they nerfed like the requirement of doing assault objectives in order to get the Legion Fall campaign done. Because Legion Fall
Ah,
campaign is, and the reasoning, my
it was for
reasoning
flying, wasn't it?
is, oh yeah, it was for flying. My reasoning is that this campaign's long, or that people are gonna get it eventually. Um,
Yeah, it just I get it though. I do. Just like for people that work and for people that or have like hectic work schedules, like it sucks to see everybody else flying and you're like, "Oh, well, everyone else is flying, but I'm not flying cuz I had to work that day."
that's
Kind of deal.
true.
And
That's
the
true.
like I would be cool with it if it was just complete four invasions. I wouldn't mind, but the fact that it's a random occurrence in Azuna, Valshara, High Mountain, uh, Stormheim, and you had to do one of each. That was the thing that I had. I wouldn't care if it was complete a certain number of assault objectives because they're up often enough, but you could every single time Azuna was up miss it because you had to work every single time Azuna was up, and like that's the issue I had with it. If it was just a number of objectives, like I think that would have worked fine.
I'll revise my thought a little bit. I think that we could have waited for flying period, and that they should have that the whole
Oh, I'm
Legion
fine with
Fall,
no
the
flying.
whole. Well, I know, um, but one I think could have waited until the Legion Fall campaign itself was over. So like as of pretty much this week, people have been completing the campaign, in its entirety, and then they got their class mount. I think we could have waited this long for flying. I don't
I
think it would
think
have been a
I
big deal.
originally thought you unlocked flying when you got your class mount,
That's
and
pretty
I would have
much
been cool with that.
that's pretty much what it was until they changed it. Like when they removed the requirement to complete the Legion Fall campaign,
And
that,
to be exalted.
yeah, and to be being exalted, that happened quick. Completing the Legion Fall campaign was, time gating, blah blah blah. Um, in retrospective, though, I think it would have been fine. But that's because I'm the type of player that doesn't give a shit about, that really doesn't give a shit about flying, because like I have said in past videos and whatnot, flying doesn't give us anything new at all. If there was something cool to do with the fact that I can zip around the planet, neat. If there's a place that I
Uh,
can access that I can't without flying, period, then cool. But there isn't. I can do everything
See,
without
what you
having to
get
fly.
with flying, Soul, the important thing that you get with flying that I think you're really um, overlooking is you get the ability to get to a dungeon first and summon people that don't have flying. You get that privilege.
Fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck. If anything, I'm still gonna wait. You guys are gonna summon me. I'm the tank. Mm-mm-mm.
I don't know. It's usually Shad that's at the stone to summon Liv, and then Liv summon us inside and stuff.
That's true. That's true. Let's not kid ourselves. We need Liv. She's like critical.
How do we
He's up.
live without live?
Oh, clever.
Get another warlock. Ho!
How did nobody say ankle before Tuesday?
I don't know. I didn't realize that at all.
Yeah,
did
and I
what?
was just like, get the fuck out of here, ankle. And we're just like, how did we never say that before?
Who is it that said it?
I said it.
Yeah. What's wrong with you? Why didn't you say it before?
What'd you call it? What?
I called Barracks' paladin as Ankiel, and I called him
Oh.
ankle. And everyone was just like, holy shit, wow.
Never really see Barracks on his paladin, that's why.
Oh yeah, he's barely on
But
that thing.
It's been his paladin for, I mean, he's been around on it for a while, is the thing.
Yeah, he's been.
He
Been
first
using it.
started playing his paladin, if I recall correctly.
I think you're right.
Mm.
Oh no! It was his warrior, because his warrior is his barracks.
Okay, no, I mean when he very first started playing, before he started raiding with us. Like in Cataclysm, I remember seeing Ankiel online.
Oh,
But then he didn't start actually raiding with us until Draenor on Barracks. And
I
then
don't
he
remember very well.
was
I'm
apparently
old, dude.
not a fan of it.
I'm old and getting old. Yeah, hey, my birthday's in 4 days. Hey.
Oh shit, man.
Oh my god.
How's 50 feel?
52
Gross.
actually. It's all right. I mean, prostate's good.
If you need an exam, I know a guy. His name's Deep Trolling.
Oh dang. With his magic mushroom shaped finger.
Yes.
On guard.
You want to duel, huh?
So I guess to close off, man. I mean, I don't know. Did we mention the holidays at all? Little micro.
Little micro holidays? No, because they're little micro holidays. I mean, for me, it's not. For me, it's not the holidays themselves, because for the most part, I don't care very much about them. But it's what they represent, and to me, the micro holidays represent, just like a condiment, a sprinkle of cool things to add to the World of Warcraft that you may or may not care about. But I just like that they're adding a bit more decoration to it.
Yeah.
This dog.
Like, I'm too busy doing stuff that's not holidays, but I like them. I do.
What I want to know is if we're gonna do them. I mean, it's the dance studio and the trial of style. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I didn't look too much at the trial of style. I looked at it, I looked at like how it works and all that stuff, but I haven't looked enough as to.
I just know.
I've seen a lot of it. A lot of the trial style. It's really cool and unique. I wish it was like a constant thing in the game, but
I'm happy about the fact that during the event, all your transmog is free. So I'm gonna be like,
hell yeah.
Shit.
Yeah,
I'm stoked about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that time to like sit down and just make like a whole bunch of sets. Because like seriously, I think I spend.
Oh, but you don't have a lot of time to make your choices. You get a set time. You have to be ready to go present.
Oh no! I'm just talking about just making all my sets and putting them together and saving them and all that stuff. It'll just give me a chance to like fuck around with it.
Okay.
Because I do that a lot. I'm pretty sure I spend no less than like 20 grand a month on transmog.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, check it out! I got my nipples on today.
Yeah, I'll like switch 2 or 3 times during raid if I feel so inclined to. But fuck, I don't care.
I've done that too.
My rogue only needs 1 transmog.
That's what makes druids boring. That's what makes druids so boring to me. It's like I can do all this stuff, but I'm always gonna look like a stupid bear.
That's honestly the reason why I like resto and balance, because I can see myself.
It'd be awesome if I could have like big old bear paws and that was my bear form, but then you can see like the rest of me and stuff.
That would be great.
I would support that, because then I would definitely race change to a goblin, and then I'd be like a little tiny goblin with big ass bear fists, and I'm a tank. Cool, let's do this.
Did you beat him to death with your bear fist?
I stroked it gently until until all the good stuff started coming out.
I see
Obviously.
what you
See, that's the point. That's the point. Those bear paws, man, they're like silk. Anyway, so I mean that's pretty much the patch. I mean they're in a lot going on. It's just a bunch of stuff to look forward to.
Well,
or
it's
dread or
it's just a
whatever.
minor patch, right? It's not one of the major patches.
No, we're just getting a raid out of it, pretty much.
I will say, because I have wanted to say this on record, I really I didn't expect it to be groundbreaking or oh my god story development, and I didn't expect anything like crazy mind-blowing out of it, but I was really kind of disappointed with the Broken Shore campaign aspect. Like, I'm fine with most of the Broken Shore stuff, but the campaign aspect just seemed so like it started off doing stuff and then it was like, hey, kill 100 demons, hey, kill some rare, hey,
When did
kill
it
some
ever have
Max
you do
stuff.
something interesting?
The very first couple ones, there was a little bit of a narrative starting in the first. Like, you have like the intro scenario, and then you go on. It's, oh hey, go check out what's going on over here. Oh, we need reinforcements up at Vengeance Point. Oh cool, I'll head up to Vengeance Point. Do it, save them. Okay, cool, head back. Oh, now we got to go into the cathedral. Oh, now we got to, like, there was a little bit of a narrative like the first 2 weeks, and then it just like stopped, and every single quest after that was just a little like breadcrumb. I was like, what's the point of this, man? I don't get it.
What are your thoughts, Senjien? Because I have a conspiracy theory on it, but I'll let you go first.
Conspiracy theory on
On
Broken Shore?
Yeah, on the Broken Shore campaign.
Oh, I mean, I was just completely like, I mean, after Surmar, like Surmar, I know for all the people that complain about how it is now, but like when it was live, like Surmar was amazing. The city was beautiful. The story was rich. You had something to look forward to every week as it progressed. You were actually like building up towards something to raid. Like, I feel like that was a huge missed opportunity that could have done with the Broken Shore. Like, I mean, you just had to do something similar to the way they did it with the Nighthold about, pushing forward.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. That's the point that I'm saying, is that narrative was missing. And I was really expecting more out of that part of it. Everything else, Broken Shore, I'm fine with. But there was just nothing. Even if instead of just like kill 100 demons, it was, hey, the Legion is pushing back from us at this place. We need to go defend it. Oh, we found some information. Go do a little tiny quest chain here. And even if it was just like it's fine if it's not every week, but if every other week, or even just once every 3 weeks, and so there were 4 big main story weeks and then other ones with breadcrumbs, I'm fine with it. But like, it was front loaded with story.
Thanks for that input, Senjien.
Oh, did you say that?
No, you asked me for my opinion. You just freaking
I
took
thought
over.
my bad. Continue what you're saying.
Well, no, I mean,
I was stressed out. Sorry.
I was definitely leading towards that. Like, that was something I definitely wanted to see, something similar to the way Surmar was when we were breaching the Nighthold, or at least something along the lines of the way we did in the Firelands, how we just kind of like pushed back in sections where like little by little we made our way to the actual, like, we started off so far on the island, kind of felt like that's kind of where we should have ended up at the end. And I know, like, during the PTR, it was a little different with Deliverance Point, where they actually had all the different orders, like, on the Broken Shore, having their own little sections. Kind of wish they would have kept that, but unfortunately, they just kept it to this one area, and it just zoned based on whatever class you were. You were a priest, and all the priests were on Deliverance Point. It just, for me, it really ruined the whole MMORPG fantasy of like us uniting as one big army going against the Legion, because it was just like, well, it's all the priests are here, but where the hell are like the demon hunters and the paladins and the warriors? Like, where's their presence on the Broken Shore? If you're looking at it in the perception of your class order, it's like your order is the only one doing anything about the Legion campaign. I mean, yeah, you have the Illidans, Illidars who help whenever we have like certain structures up, but I mean, I didn't really feel like we were this huge amassing army pulling together to fight the Legion back uh, to their tomb, so that way we could breach the tomb, like the way the achievement says, and actually make that progress. It just felt completely flat to me. Like it was just like a complete missed opportunity where they're just like, well, we don't have time for this. Focus on Argus. I'll scrap it. Like let's just put this little bit in and let's get the hell out of here. I felt shorthanded.
So I basically agree with you guys with regards to like the merit of what the Legion Fall campaign was. Yeah, it was empty. There just wasn't a lot to do. The narrative wasn't there, and it's highlighted by the fact that the Nightfallen campaign is such a stark contrast. It was meaty, it was full of stuff, had narrative and story and voiceovers and what have you. My conspiracy theory is that there wasn't supposed to be a Legion Fall campaign at all, or at least the Legion Fall campaign, so to speak, was only supposed to last 3, maybe 4 weeks instead of the 12 or so that it turned out to be. Because when you look at the meatier parts of the quests, along with the fillers, like I mean, one of them is like complete an assault objective, and there was one where you first discover the Sentinax beacon and all that stuff. If you kind of like if you take all those as like pieces and you stack them together, you'll find that some of them are related. So the way that I see it, like there was one week where it's like, okay, you get the class campaign, you do the class campaign, and on top of that, you would do a couple of world quests and you kill a bunch of demons. And then on some other week, that's when you get that's when Legion assault objectives first appear. And then on top of that, you have to complete a number of assault objectives and kill demons and blah blah blah. So I think that the Legion Fall campaign was purposefully extended artificially in order to meet, I don't know, what sort of requirement. It could have been, it could be anything, and anyone can put on their tinfoil hats and think of what they want. Part of me is thinking is that they did in fact want to release the Tomb of Sargeras earlier than expected, but then maybe around January or so, they were like, hey, you know what? The feedback from players is like, we want to wait a little bit longer. We're burned out. We want more time to kind of rest. We don't. Basically, they didn't want an Ulduar situation to happen where people were still actively engaged in Ulduar, and then all of a sudden, ta-da! Trial of the Crusader happened, and that kind of threw people off with regards to like a progression standpoint. Because even PoW was thrown off. We were left. I think we just had Yogg to kill off. And then Trial of Crusader happened. I'm like, okay, I guess we're going to Trial of Crusader now, even though we didn't finish yet. And that was like the one time that we fell behind, so to speak. But yeah, that's basically my thing. And on top of that, everything else should have been in place where you don't get to fly until you complete the campaign, and get your class mounts and all that stuff. And I think that would have fit the narrative. And then shortly afterwards, maybe a week or so afterwards, boom, Tomb of Sargeras comes out. So that's my theory on it. But obviously that's not how it turned out. Instead, we got 8 more weeks of what we got.
Yeah.
But anyway, with that, we got 3 minutes till raid.
It just really does seem to me like getting the achievement right now for breaching the tomb. It's like we didn't breach the tomb. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, we breached it day
there's
one.
I was just expecting that there would be like some quest where it's like, all right, guys, now we're gonna break open the gates and now we're gonna be able to go in. It's just like, no.
Yeah.
You breached the tomb. You killed 100 demons. You killed 100 spiders, because when you kill one of the eggs, you get like 6 kills worth of spiders, and you farmed it easily. And hooray, you did it!
Yeah, it just feels so segmented that I can create this whole narrative, and it can make sense. For all I know, this is exactly what Blizzard wanted to do, give or take certain things, but it just feels awkward enough that I can craft this story and put these things together, and it could sound plausible. So, yeah. Anyway, I think we're ready to wrap, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
Good to go.
Cool. Thank you guys for. I want to thank both of you guys for coming. This it's been a while since we did a PoWCast, and I wanted to do something quick and dirty and easy, and this was it. So I'm glad that you guys were able to join me tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad I could wake up early enough to get to work early and get off work early.
And then same thing for you with a weird sleep pattern, Senjien. Like, what time is it over there?
Dude, he's in the fucking future.
It's 10:56 a.m.
on Friday.
I'm about to go to bed.
And you're about to go to bed.
Yeah, because I'm working night shift right now, so I have to go in at 8 o'clock tonight.
Ah, right on, dude. Well, okay then. Yeah. Thanks again for coming. This is a wrap.
All right, man.
All right. See you guys later. I'll see you in raid.